G'day and welcome back to the AFL Fantasy 360 Tips and Tricks YouTube channel. In this video I'm going to be going over the best rookie forward options for your AFL Fantasy side in 2020. Now I don't have any notes or anything for this video. It was a bit rushed just to get the video out before the March series starts, so if I do get any stats wrong or whatnot, then yeah, don't give me too much hate, but yeah, so the March series starts in a few hours, which is why I had to quickly rush and get this video out before the March series started. So a bit unprofessional compared to my other videos, not having my notes there to refer back to. But anyway, besides that, we'll get straight into the video. So the first player we're going to talk about is Jacob Townsend from the Essendon Bombers. Obviously moved from the Tigers in the trade period this year. He averaged 90 in the VFL playing as an inside mid, and the early word from Essendon is that he will be playing that inside mid role at the Bombers this year. Now, he's coming into his 8th season now, I'm pretty sure, so he's not really a rookie. I'm classifying him as a half a rookie because he's rookie priced, but obviously he's a seasoned AFL player. And if he gets that role in the midfield for the Bombers, then he's definitely a good scorer. And yeah, we'll have to see what sort of role he plays. If he's playing that half forward role, there's definitely not a lot of value in him. But if he is playing through the midfield and maybe stints down forward for a rest or whatever, then he's definitely good value for your forward line and a great selection. So the next pick we're going to talk about is Izak Rankine. Pretty self-explanatory. He's an absolute lock for pretty much every team. Averaged 81 in the under-18 champs and under 62 in the under-18 state league in 2018, which was his draft year. Missed all of last year, obviously, with all the injuries that he had. Look, he's not going to be a massive scorer, but he has shown that he can put up good games. So he's probably one that I'd probably recommend to keep on the bench. But if you really, really need to field him, then you probably could take the punt against maybe a weaker side or just, yeah, look at the matchups for him. But yeah, no, he's pretty much a log. He's going to be a great cash cow this year. But don't expect him to produce monster scores week in, week out. The next player is Eli Smith, who I currently have in my team. Averaged 94 and 88 in his under-18s competitions that he played in his draft year. Played in the NEFL last year for an average of 80. Bit of injury troubles. He was a first-round pick in 2018 for the Lions, or an early second round, or a first round. I honestly can't remember. So hopefully he can get some early opportunity. We'll have to watch him through the March series. But if he does, he's going to be a great option for your forward line. I'm not sure his job security is going to be the greatest, but yeah, we'll have to see about that. Obviously through the March series, and hopefully he gets a bit of mid time so he can produce some scores. And I can see him being like a Willem Drew from last year if he can get the opportunity. So yeah, I think he can go at a 60 average if he gets the right role and he gets an opportunity for the Lions. Moving on to the next player, we got Sam Flanders, who I'm not too big on. I don't know why, but he did average 90s in both under-18s competitions this year. Was drafted to the Gold Coast Suns. I just don't know how much mid-time he's going to get. Obviously, that'll be answered in the March series, as will a lot of these questions that we have. But yeah, I'm just not sure on Flanders at the moment. But yeah, I think he's a solid option if you want to go that way in your forward line at this stage, but it's going to take some convincing during the March series for me to go anywhere near him. And I can see him averaging around that low 60s mark, at worst high 50s, as I've got there on screen. So we'll move on to the next player. That's Toby Willer from the Brisbane Lions. Basement price, had very good numbers in the NEFL last year. He's a taller forward, but he actually played like through the midfield, like a hybrid midfielder. It's a bit of an odd one. I don't think I've heard of that before. I don't have an example of a player that's done that before, but his averages in under 18s were good. Obviously the 46 doesn't look too good. I'm not sure what that was all about, but his state league average was 105, so he's definitely shown he can do it. And obviously NEFL last year was 93, and the year before was around high 80s or low 90s as well, I'm pretty sure. But because he's had 2 years in the system now. He hasn't been able to get a debut, but this could be the year. It's just the opportunities and the Lions lineup. I've got a sneaky gut feel that the Lions will be similar to the Tigers last year, except this year. So they've had a heap of good luck with injuries. I think this year may, obviously you don't want to wish injuries on anyone, but I think this year could be the year that injuries do strike, and it's just a gut feeling. There's absolutely no statistics or anything behind it, but yeah, so I think he can go around the 60 mark as well if he gets that opportunity. And obviously, if he does get a game, definitely watch his role, because that's going to be a big factor, as with most players, or every player, about his fantasy scoring. Next player is Jack Mahoney. I'm not sure how you exactly pronounce that. Now, I've made a mistake with the pricing in this picture. He's not 170k, he's 204k, I believe. So yeah, disregard that. As I said, I was rushing through trying to make this video to try and get it out before the March series started. So he's averaged pretty well. He's going to be relevant at some point this year because he will get a game. North draftees are much higher likely to get a game this year. I think he can be a similar player to Grant Myers. His stats are very similar. His role is going to be pretty much the same as Grant Myers, maybe not in as good of a team, but he's got the ability to play through the midfield as well. So if he starts getting midfield time as well as playing that forward role, and his job security is going to look pretty decent, then yeah, he's definitely one that you need to consider for your side. He's gonna be a decent cash cow this year, and depending on his role, he'll average anywhere between mid-50s to mid-60s. I think potentially even more, depending on how much midfield time he gets. Even if he pushes it up to a wing, that could make his scoring even better. So next player, got Mitch Georgiadis. He's one that everyone's hyping up this preseason. Now, I'm not too keen on him for a couple of reasons. One, his inflated price. He didn't play all of 2019 because of injuries. I think it was a leg injury from memory, but again, don't quote me on that. Haven't got my notes here. He's a taller forward. I think he's 192 centimeters, so he's not going to be. Well, traditionally, key forwards haven't been great scorers, or consistent scorers anyway. So yeah, I can see him going mid-50s. He's not one that's lighting me up too much. All the talk coming out of Port Adelaide is he's tearing up preseason, but yeah, I'm just not sold on him as of yet. So definitely watch him over the Marsh series, but yeah, we'll see how that one goes. Moving on to the next player, Sam Sturt from Freo. You've probably heard his name somewhere in preseason articles and whatnot. He's a basement price. His average was okay in the under 18s, nothing too spectacular, and his waffle average wasn't massive. But look, the fact that he could get opportunity in the side this year really presents some good value and some good potential to be a decent cash cow for us in our sides this year. So look, low 50s to mid 50s is probably the average where he'll be around. Potentially even lower, depending on multiple different factors, including role and his options. I'm not sure about his job security, but we'll have to see about that. So that's it for the video. If you did enjoy, please subscribe and like the video. Leave your comments down below on any players that you want to know about, or if anyone you think I missed in this list. If you haven't already, check out my other rookie videos I've done. This is the last of them. I've done midfielders, done defenders, rucks, and yeah, that's I think I did the best rookie picks overall as well. So yeah, definitely check those out if you're interested in the other positions, if you're not quite sure who to look at in the Marsh series. But anyway, thanks for watching. Sorry this video was a bit rushed, but I'll see you in the next one, hopefully. Cheers.